Something strange has been happening in Hollywood lately, and almost nobody wants to say it out loud. Big stars who used to show up together are suddenly quiet. Red carpets feel different, and insiders keep describing one ongoing legal battle with the same phrase, a complete dumpster fire. Not just messy, not dramatic, a dumpster fire. And what's making people uneasy isn't just the lawsuit itself, it's everything happening around it. The leaked texts, the late night calls, the celebrity names getting pulled into the story, and a few quiet moves behind the scenes that have people whispering, wait, what is really going on here? Because when powerful people start distancing themselves instead of defending someone publicly, that's usually when you know things are more serious than they look. At first, it sounded like typical Hollywood drama. Creative differences, legal disagreements, nothing the industry hasn't seen before. But then reports started popping up suggesting that several A-listers who were mentioned in private messages didn't want their names involved at all. Not because they had done anything wrong, but because nobody wants to wake up and find themselves trending in someone else's court case. Sources described frustration. Some called the situation exhausting. Others reportedly just wanted to stay neutral. And that's when the mood shifted, because Hollywood doesn't usually back away this fast unless something feels risky. When people start protecting their own reputations instead of picking sides, you know the tension is real. Then something else happened that added even more fuel to the fire. A major streaming platform held a huge press day, hundreds of journalists, dozens of new projects, big names everywhere. One of those projects starred Ryan Reynolds, and according to earlier announcements, he was expected to appear. But when the event started, he simply wasn't there. No big explanation, no clear statement. Now, to be fair, scheduling issues happen all the time. Flights get delayed, plans change. That's normal. But when a high-profile appearance quietly disappears during an already sensitive moment, people notice. Online speculation started immediately. Was it a coincidence, or was someone just trying to avoid extra attention? Nobody really knows, but it definitely didn't calm the conversation.
Around the same time, an older recording resurfaced and suddenly became relevant again. Reports say a filmmaker had secretly recorded a phone call with a studio executive, supposedly to use as evidence. People expected something explosive, some dramatic confrontation. Instead, listeners described the call as surprisingly calm. No yelling, no threats, just measured, normal conversation. If anything, it confused people more than it convinced them. Because when something is presented like a bombshell but sounds ordinary, it makes you question the whole narrative. And just when things couldn't get messier, another wave of information hit the internet. Text messages. Late-night text messages. We're talking 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, still negotiating, still discussing edits, still debating versions of the film. According to reports, there were conversations about testing different cuts of the movie, almost like a competition between versions. That alone raised eyebrows because Hollywood rarely does that. Usually, the director delivers the final version and that's it. But here, insiders claim multiple cuts were screened, scores were compared, and executives were trying to figure out which one worked best. Some versions apparently tested higher, others lower. Yet the decision wasn't just about numbers. It also involved opinions, relationships, and who preferred what creatively. And depending on who you ask, that's either normal industry politics or a complete headache. Then even more celebrity names started appearing in the story. Friends, colleagues, big stars being asked to watch cuts or give feedback. Now, asking friends for opinions isn't unusual. Everyone does that. But when those friends happen to be household names and those private messages become public, it gets awkward fast. Suddenly, people who never planned to be involved are part of the conversation, and reports suggest some of them didn't love that at all, because in Hollywood, staying out of drama is often the smartest move. The safest move is silence.
But here's the part most viewers don't think about. This isn't just gossip. There's a bigger industry fear behind all of this. Studios rely on structure. Directors direct, actors act, producers produce. Once those lines start blurring, things get complicated fast. Budgets grow, timelines slip, power struggles happen. If one situation sets a precedent, others might try the same thing. More creative control battles, more competing edits, more negotiations. And Hollywood hates unpredictability. It's a business built on control. So when something feels chaotic, executives get nervous. And that brings us to the part nobody really says out loud. Lawsuits eventually end, but reputations stick around. Fair or not, this industry runs on trust. If working with someone starts to feel complicated or risky, studios simply move on. There's always another project, another actor, another director. That's just how it works. Sometimes the biggest damage isn't losing a case, it's losing goodwill. It's people quietly choosing distance instead of support. And lately, that distance has been noticeable. Fewer appearances, lower profiles, less noise. Almost like everyone is waiting for the storm to pass before stepping back into the spotlight. So what's really happening here? Is it just overblown drama fueled by the internet, or is something bigger shifting behind the scenes? Right now, it's all reports, claims, and speculation. Nothing final, nothing officially decided. But one thing feels clear. When half the industry steps back instead of stepping in, something isn't sitting right. And whatever happens next could easily surprise everyone, because in Hollywood, the loudest headlines aren't always the most important clues. Sometimes it's the silence that tells the real story.